Police top brass and government authorities are in Diepsloot as part of Operation Moalo. Now, earlier today, we told you about residents threatening another shutdown if President Cyril Ramaphosa fails to come and address their crime concerns. A local pastor was shot and killed during a robbery in the area at his church just 5 days ago. And our reporter Silindelo Masikane has spent the last few hours in Diepsloot, and she joins us now live from there. Silindelo, you have spent the last few hours there. You've watched Diepsloot go from bustling Saturday afternoon activity, people returning home from work or from their Saturday social activities, and now we're right into it. It's Saturday night in Diepsloot. What are the community about? What's going on there?
Well, as you can see in front of you, we have an Moalo operation that's taking place here in Diepsloot. And as you've said, that since around early this morning, and in fact since last week, the community has been really voicing their frustrations in terms of the crime levels in the area. We know we also have the acting National Police Commissioner actually here joining the Provincial Commissioner. We see that there is a briefing taking place. We were going to speak to the PC, but you can see that he's just busy debriefing the minister, who's actually just arrived a few moments ago. And of course, we know the issues that plague Diepsloot, Marcel, from robberies to hijackings to murder to rape. The levels of crime are simply, from what residents saying, it's too much to deal with now. And for the past couple of days, we've seen them marching throughout the streets of Diepsloot, calling for President Cyril Ramaphosa to actually come and see the situation for himself. They now want to be addressed by the president, saying that they've heard enough of these empty promises coming from ministers like Diepsloot, who come into the area every now and then when there is a protest, and saying that, you know, they come here promising that they will fix the situation. And yes, they do admit that the police visibility has certainly improved over the past couple of years. However, the issue is that the lack of service delivery and the poor infrastructure and planning around the way in which Diepsloot is set out makes it difficult for law enforcement to be able to curb crime in the area. So we know that, of course, from what we understand, the police minister will be taking part in this operation. But speaking to some of the residents earlier on, Marcel, you would have heard them talking about how they believe that law enforcement themselves are also complicit in the levels of crime, accusing them of taking bribes and so forth. So while the debrief happens, my colleague Joe Matlala is showing you visuals in terms of what the operation itself, but I understand it seems as though the PC is done debriefing and will be able to engage us. But like I said earlier on, the residents of Diepsloot are saying that law enforcement is not actually helping in terms of the crime levels, and that some police officers are taking bribes from criminals, making the situation far worse than it actually should be. And of course, last week we saw that horrific shooting of a pastor along with their congregants. They were worshipping in the late hours of the evening, and criminals made their way into the house of the Lord. And according to residents, if you can't even be safe there, then we can't even be safe in our homes. But I do want to bring in the PC as well as the Minister and the Acting National Police Commissioner. Thank you so much for your time this evening. PC, maybe let me start with you while the Minister engages with some of your officers. Just the operation so far, is it yielding any results?
Yeah, thus far I think we are doing extremely well. It's positive as usual. We start with the first phase of the detectives. Detectives in Gauteng, they've arrested 622 wanted suspects, starting from yesterday until early hours of this morning. That was our first phase, followed by a phase by the detectives, by the intelligence community. Again, they've arrested 4 drug dealers here in this particular area, and these people are dealing with the hardcore drugs. I'm talking cocaine, I'm talking crystal meth and cat. That arrest led them to the supplier, whom they followed the supplier to Diepsloot. In Diepsloot, they found saving a stash of drugs. So that supplier is also arrested. We are happy about it. In this roadblock, one stolen vehicle, which was stolen in Vierdebreg, a Toyota Etios, is recovered. The driver arrested. We are having 24 drunken driving suspects already processed. We are having 47 undocumented persons also already processed. One shebeen closed. In that shebeen also we have 9 undocumented persons who will be processed, so they will be added on the 47.
PC, maybe let's talk about the fact that community members are accusing some of your members of taking bribes in the community.
Yes, you know, communities, they say all sorts of things. We cannot say they are not taking drugs. But what we have requested the community to do for us is to give us the names of those people or the vehicles they are driving. Once we have that kind of an evidence, we will be able to go and investigate it further and deal with those ones.
All right, thank you so much for your time this evening, Marcel. That is the Provincial Police Commissioner, joined by the Acting National Police Commissioner here. I am looking at the time, and I do see that the Minister is still just trying to get a sense of the operation itself, and we will, of course, then speak to him just after 8 p.m.
Okay, we're going to leave you there so you can go about your work. Silindelo Masikane on the ground there in Diepsloot. And as you can see, they're not just the Provincial Police Commissioner, but also the Minister of Police, Bheki Cele, on the scene, as we expected, on the scene tonight in Diepsloot, where community members are up in arms about crime, not just the recent spike in crime, just crime in general that really is not being stopped or battled successfully by the local SAPS for various reasons. So Silindelo and our team will continue to do their work on the ground, and hopefully we'll be able to hear from them in an update again after 8 o'clock.